about this question. Oh, I accidentally started the recording. So we're recording our class right now. I hope that's okay. I meant to open up the breakout rooms. So we're going to go into our breakout rooms to talk about this question for a few minutes. Let's do 4. Yeah, let's do 4 breakout rooms today. We'll take a few minutes to talk about this question together. You might have some of the same ideas as your classmates. You might have something totally different. I thought of a few examples as an adult based on my living situation and my personal life. But you may also remember some things as a child, some things that you needed permission to do. So we'll take about 5 minutes or so to talk about this question in our small groups. If you have any problems, you can send me a message and I'll come in and help. All right. Go ahead and open the groups and you all have fun.
Okay, what is something you need permission to do? Go ahead, Vivian.
Okay. Well, I really there are many things. Do you need to have permission to do something? For example, see you need the day off in the work, do you have permission? When I pick up my children early, I have to make permission to do. If I want to have a pet in my apartment, I have to make permission to a lot of things.
Wow. Wow, amazing. You know a lot. Okay.
That's a good example about wanting a pet in your apartment.
Yeah. I want
Uh,
to pregnant.
yeah, it's expensive to have a pet in your apartment, unfortunately. I also live in an apartment, so one of the things I wrote in my journal was about wanting to paint the walls of my apartment. I have to get permission if I want to paint the walls.
Too.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
All right, keep going.
Dara,
Hi.
go ahead.
You know, I don't need permission for anything, but maybe I need permission for going trip. Maybe I don't have any job, and I am adult.
That's true. As an adult, there's not many things that you really need to ask permission for when you can control so many parts of your own life. But if you think a little too carefully, you will find that there are many things we don't control about our life, and sometimes we need more information from someone else.
Yeah, maybe I need permission for spending a lot of money.
Who would you ask for permission?
My husband.
Yeah. And sometimes with the husband in that relationship, depending on your relationship, and this is different in different cultures, but sometimes that really is permission, like he has to say yes or no. And sometimes it is more of a discussion or conversation. You might say, I want to buy this, here's all of my ideas, and he can agree or disagree, but you can still do what you want to do.
Yeah, right.
Going to tell what is something you need permission to do. I need permission to spend money if over budget, same as Dara. If within the budget, we don't need permission, but the over budget meaning is the changing about the spending habit. So this is a big deal. So we'll be always negotiate.
Mhm.
Next, I need permission if I going to go into someone's home. Also, if I see the dog I like to touch, but I need permission.
Ooh.
I use or touch or someone's possession. So, can I touch your dog? I have to ask first.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a really good example, Kazumi. Yeah, other people's things, like other people's house, to go inside or to touch something in their house. And I think that example about the dog is another really good one because you're doing it for your protection and for the other person's protection too. Some dogs are not friendly, so
Yeah.
it's good to ask permission.
Yes.
All right, great examples, everyone. Thank you for sharing. Let's go back into the main room and we'll continue with our class there.
Okay, thank you.
All right. All right, welcome back, welcome back. We'll give a few seconds for the other groups to join us.
Programme de business adoption et culture.
All right, I heard so many good examples in Kazumi and Vivian and Zara's group. I think a really good reminder that, you know, it's important to ask for permission before you touch or use something that belongs to another person. If you're in their home, or Kazumi's example was petting someone's dog, it's a great idea to ask for permission. You're an adult, you can do whatever you want, but sometimes it can be very dangerous to do that. So asking for permission can prevent, you know, any problems from coming up.
Yes, especially the men when they touch a woman, ask permission first.
Yeah, touching other people, definitely ask for permission, especially after COVID. Yeah.
C'est Apple.
Yeah.
Apple. Les nains ben, c'est bon, hein, parce que janvier.
I think Lisette is talking to someone else.
Oh.
That's okay. All right, I'm going to share the screen again and we'll go ahead and move on to our next activity, which is some announcements. On Tuesday, we kind of talked briefly about this, and again, Ellie was asking about this. I'll send her an email later. But there's a question about vaccines and boosters at Americana. It's available this Saturday, 11 o'clock to 3 o'clock. This is the Pfizer vaccine and booster for adults, or the Pfizer vaccine for kids. So anyone 5 years old or older can go. There's no ID and no insurance required. I believe no appointment is required either. You can just show up. I think it's really important to get a vaccine so that we can keep ourselves safe and keep other people safe. If you have any questions or concerns about the vaccine for you or for your kids, I think it is a good idea to go to Americana and you can talk to a nurse about it, and they can answer your questions and talk about any questions or concerns that you have. That's part of their job, not just to give the medicine, but to explain why we need this. If you need help, or anybody, this is for anybody, for your friends or family or anyone you know, is welcome to go. They will provide language interpretation also. If you have some problems communicating in English or don't feel comfortable, you can let them know and they will provide some interpretation. Hi, Lynn, what's your question?
So it's for vaccine is every Saturday or just like December 4th?
They do it a few times a month, I think. So I don't know what the full schedule is, but definitely this Saturday.
Oh, okay. So the booster shot is after the 2 shot, right? It's the 3rd shot, right?
It's the 3rd one, which is 6 months after the 2nd one.
Okay. I already make a point for the CVS. I
Okay.
just question because I have friends, so they don't have the point. So just make sure it's every Saturday or like just like one time.
Yeah, I don't know, but you could definitely call Americana to find out, or if you are on Facebook, they have a Facebook page, you could find out there too.
Okay. Have you take booster shot?
I got my booster shot about 2 weeks ago. I was able to make an appointment at Walgreens and it was very easy, very quick. The next day I felt kind of sick. I didn't feel my, lots of energy or anything.
What's the shots? What's that?
The booster is the shot to kind of give a little bit of extra energy to the vaccine, not to you, but to the vaccine and to your body to remember how to protect against COVID.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I knew that somebody no symptoms, somebody like sick, somebody like fever.
Yeah, sometimes with the vaccine, the 2 and then the 3rd, the booster, you do feel a little bit sick afterwards, but you're not really sick. You just have some symptoms of being sick.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So I got my vaccine many months ago and my booster a few weeks ago, and I did it on a Friday so that on Saturday I could stay home and not, have to go to work or see other people. I could just be lazy and relax on the couch for the day. So that would be my recommendation if you can do that. And if you're getting your kids vaccinated, just prepare that they might feel kind of sick. Some people do and some people don't. So
no,
kind of hard.
I have Vanessa. I also got last 2 weeks in, but there was only stiffness on my arm. Otherwise, I was okay.
Yeah. The same thing for me too. My arm hurt for like a week. It was crazy.
It was really very stiff.
Yeah. Everyone's different though.
I saw one news. Is if the kids take the vaccine, should be have the chance to free tuition for the college. It's correct? I don't know.
Different cities and different states are doing different things to encourage people and families to get vaccinated. Sometimes there's a place you can get a cash prize. In Kentucky, they did kind of a lottery for a certain period. I don't know if there's anything happening right now, but there were some students who got free college tuition for getting vaccinated during a certain time period. Yeah.
I'm so confused. Why after shall have the free college tuition?
Because they wanted people to get the shot, and some people thought, nah, I don't really want it. Say, oh, free tuition. If I have the chance of free tuition, why not?
Okay.
I mean, you could offer to give me a candy bar and I would go. And college tuition, of course, in the United States is really expensive. So it's a good incentive or a good benefit for getting the vaccine. All right, my next announcement doesn't matter for this group, but we already talked about taking the test. Let's go ahead and leave a note in the chat about the homework or the video from the class website. I didn't post the video until like late last night, so I'm assuming nobody watched that video. I'm sorry that I forgot to. I uploaded it, but I forgot to put the link on the class website. So, but let me know in the chat if you did any homework. I didn't get any emails with questions. So did the homework go okay? Did you have any trouble with the homework this past week?
I'm no problem.
Okay.
Especially yesterday is easy.
So a little bit more straightforward, right? And I don't think there were quite as many pages as sometimes there are. Remember that
Before you
this
took
homework,
the 20 pages to I need to use a 3-4 hour finish.
okay, I know sometimes it's too much.
Yeah.
For this class, please remember that the homework is optional. It's a good way to get some extra practice. It is not required for the class though. Kazumi, if you have any questions or you want to talk more about it, let me know so we can go over some of that again. We'll have to do that outside of class time, not during class. We'll do a little bit of a review from Tuesday's modals, and we'll talk more about some different modals today. All right, we're already recording. Today we're talking about modals of permission and request. This is our topic number 8, but it's actually class number 7 because we had a day off, so we had to combine a few different topics together. So we'll talk about some more situations where modals can help us explain that situation behind the verb. So let's review. What is or what does the word modal mean? What does modal mean?
That's the can, may. That's some special word.
It's a special word.
Mode and
Yeah, very good. We have the AL ending, which is an adjective ending, an adjective suffix. The root word is the word mode, and mode means the way. So modal describes the way something is or the way something works. Modal is an adjective, but sometimes we use it as a noun. A modal is a modal verb. The modal works with the verb. We always have a verb. If we have a modal, we have a verb. If we cannot use a modal on its own, it must work with another verb. And of course, a verb is what?
action people do.
Way, action.
Yeah, the action. It's the action of the sentence. If we don't have a verb, we don't have a sentence. So the modal can help us give more information about the action, how it happens, what is the situation, a little bit more context for the action of the sentence. So we've talked about, in our previous class, we talked about some of those situations where we use modals. We talked about can, could, may, and might. And we did some other ones. We did some other ones that aren't on this list. We talked about ability, can and be able to. We talked about possibility, can, may, and might. Can, may, and might. I think we talked about could for possibility as well. So this chart is not complete. There are so many modals and so many different ways to use modals. Sometimes we see a chart like this and there's something missing, and that's because the teacher who created it at that time, it was working for them for their class, but sometimes these charts don't include every possible answer. So that's why this one looks a little different than some of the things that we talked about. But today we're going to talk about those modals for permission and request. Permission and request. All right. So let's go ahead and review our modals of ability. Modals of ability. Would you like to give some example sentences using can, could for the past, or be able to?
I can speak English now.
Okay, very good.
I can do exercise for 3 hours.
I can exercise for 3 hours. Exercise is a verb. So we'll use the modal with the verb in the base form in our sentence.
I couldn't speak English.
I couldn't speak
in
English,
past.
right? 2 years ago,
Yeah.
or maybe 12 years ago for some of you.
Vanessa, is it true that be able to always should be used in positive sense, that I am able to do this, and not in the sense I am not able to do negative sentences?
We can use be able to in the negative form as well. I wasn't able to decorate the cake for your birthday. We use the be able to in, I'm sorry, I said one thing and I wrote another thing. We can use this be able to in the negative form when we're talking about something specific. If we're talking about a more general action, we tend to not use be able to in the negative. I would use can't. If I can't go to Chicago this weekend.
I'm not able to swim for a long time.
I'm not able, I am able or not able to swim?
Not able to swim for a long time.
Very good. All right, hi Elizabeth, nice to see you today.
Hi, fine. I'm sorry for I'm late because I'm
Okay.
traveling to Mexico and I stay in Mexico.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's a long trip. We're
Thank
happy
you.
you're here. All right. So we're reviewing those modals of ability that we talked about on Tuesday, can and be able to. And for the past tense, we can also use could as well. All right, so let's review our modals of possibility. We talked about may, might, and could. This could is not about the past, it's about the present when we're talking about possibility. May, might, and could all have the same meaning in the affirmative sentence. What are some sentences we can write with may, might, and could for possibility?
It may rain today. It's possibility.
Whoops.
It might rain today. Even it could rain.
It may rain today. It might
It
rain
might
today.
rain today. It could rain today.
It could rain today. What else?
But this is the could, can't use the negative, right?
Correct.
And
It may
yes.
not rain today. It might not rain today. It could not rain today has a different meaning. So we do not use could in the negative for possibility.
And the
Can
may
we make
can't,
a question
may can't
statement
use the
also?
question.
can we make it in a question? Might it rain today? Is it possible?
Yeah. Sounds a little bit weird because I normally just ask you, is it going to rain today? Is another way to ask about
Like,
the possibility.
May it rain today?
Yeah, we could ask, it sounds a little silly, but it's totally possible. Might it rain today? Or,
But you can't use the may, right?
right, could it rain today? May it rain today?
No.
It's not okay. In the question form, we don't use may. We've talked before about how English has many, many, many rules, and there's always an exception, almost always an exception to those rules. So that is using could not for possibility and using may in the question of possibility.
Before, I always say, may I borrow something from you? That's the only is wrong, right?
May I borrow something from you? In that way,
I thought
it is request
too many times, but now
it is request.
It's okay to ask, may I borrow a pencil from you? Because in this situation, we're not talking about possibility. You're not talking about possibility,
permission.
You're talking about something else, right? You're asking for
Yeah.
permission. Yeah. And
That's
that's okay. That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. To ask for permission or to give permission. We use these modals, some familiar ones, may, could, and can. So may I borrow your pencil is asking for permission using may in the question. Asking for permission, may I ask a question? Could I sit here? Could I ask a question? Could I borrow a pencil? Or can I use your pencil? Can I ask a question? Could I ask a question? May, could, and can are the modals that we use for asking the question, asking permission. The modal in the question form comes at the beginning of the question, may, could, and can. There is a difference in meaning with our modals of permission. May is very formal, could and can are more informal, more casual. Most American people are more informal, and it would be okay to use may to ask the question, especially for somebody that you don't know, or if there's somebody where there's a big difference in like power or authority between a child and an adult, between a student and a teacher. In some cases where you want to show that that difference of power, difference of authority to be a little bit more formal.
Hi. If we asking for a question, like, can I use the, say, can you sit here? It's better use can or could. Which one is more polite?
I think it's really up to you and which one you want to use. I don't think between could and can, there's very much difference.
Oh, because when
Vanessa, I have a question.
Hold on, let me finish with Lynn first.
Because I remember used to my teacher, he said, tell me if you require some people to do something, you use like can or could or something. The other word is more price, like here, like more formal or informal. So no different, just like.
So yeah, so we're going to get to that in just a minute. In this question of asking for permission, in that dynamic of power, you are the bottom person. right? Can I borrow the pencil? Could I sit here? It's going to be the same situation. You can use can or could. When the situation is reversed and you're asking, you're requesting something, and we're going to talk about asking the request in just a minute. There's a difference between asking for permission and asking for request. There's a different situation there with the modal could. So hold on to that. That's a good connection though. All right, who else had a question about this page? Someone else had a question?
I have one question.
Okay, go ahead, cool one. I can't see sometimes when you speak out, I don't know who is talking, so go ahead and ask.
Okay, I thought you were asking from anyone else.
Thank you.
Suppose I am saying, can I swim? How it will deliver my right message that I am seeking a permission, or I am telling about, I am seeking permission, or like, can I swim? Or I am telling about my abilities.
So it depends on the context and who you are talking to and where you are when you're talking. If you're talking about your ability, you should know your own ability. So I don't know, why would you ask the question, can I swim? Like, do you know my ability, right? If we're standing next to the swimming pool and you're looking around and you say, can I swim? You're asking for permission. It's okay for you to jump in the swimming pool that day. So because we use the same word as a modal, can, for example, to express different situations, in those situations, we think more about the context and the situation, what's happening around us to convey that specific meaning. To ask for ability or permission, we do use the same words. When I was a student, because may is more formal and can is a little bit more informal, the teacher would always say, if you would say, can I do this? They would say, I don't know, can you? I don't know, can you? That's your asking for, or asking about your ability. They wanted you to be more formal with the teacher, to say, may I do this, to ask for permission. It depends on the context, and you would know that in the moment. Does that answer your question?
Okay, I'll try to apply it.
Okay. When you hear these words or use these words, definitely pay attention to who is talking, where are you talking, what are you talking about, what is the whole context, the whole situation.
But if everything I use a may, also no problem, right?
I mean, some people will think you're very formal in some situations. You can use it for many things, yes.
Yeah, that's better use a may, that's no wrong.
Yeah, but if you're talking to your best friend that way, they might think you're a little bit stiff.
Okay.
It's not technically wrong, but there's a reason we have the more informal language. All right, so we ask for permission with the question form using may, could, or can. Asking for permission, moving from that more formal, may I, and less formal, can I. When you are giving permission, we would say, yes, you may borrow my car. Or no, you may not borrow my car. Or yes, you can borrow my shirt. No, you cannot use my pencil. So to give permission in the sentence, we would use may or can, but not could. Could I sit here? Yes, you can.
Oh.
Could I sit here? Yes, you may. All right. We also use these modals to talk about permission and talk about what is allowed in some situations. Students may borrow books for 14 days. Students can use computers at any time. Talking about tenants in an apartment, tenants or residents may paint the walls or they cannot paint the walls. To talk about somebody's permission, what they are allowed to do, what the rules say they can do. All right. Any questions about this slide? These modals of permission or ability and possibility that we talked about last week are probably somewhat familiar to you. They're familiar words, they're short words that are sometimes easy to use. But there are so many different situations where we can use some, but not the other one, or that kind of thing. So it can be a difficult thing to really feel comfortable and confident with using modals because there's so many small little situations. All right, any other questions? Okay, we're gonna go back into our breakout rooms. We have two different things we'll do in the breakout room, but we'll start with this first link. I'm going to open this and put the link in the chat for you. We're going to take a look at exercise number 7 and 8. Get the link in the chat. All right, the link is in the chat. We're going to come down to yeah, this is asking, may I, could I, and can I to ask for permission. Asking for permission. We'll always use the modal with the base form of the verb. We don't have to change the verb in any way. For asking for permission, usually we're asking for ourselves, right? May I, can I? Sometimes you do ask permission for someone else. Could she use the phone? Could they use the phone? Sometimes we do ask for permission for somebody else when we want to help them. But for most of the case, we ask for permission for ourselves to do something. So we'll come down here with your group and practice number 7 and number 8. Asking with may I, can I, and could I. We'll go ahead and use our same breakout rooms as before. If you have any questions or any problems, then please send me a note in the chat. I can come and help your group out. All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, have fun. That looks like the link from another teacher.
Okay.
Do you have the one from this chat? I can share it again.
Okay. Thank you.
It looks interesting. It's just not what we want to practice right now.
Okay.
Yes.
Complete the conversation with me. I can occupy some sentence. May I hand in my homework tomorrow, please? Number 2.
Number 2, students ask the teacher, may have some more time to finish. Easy? No, absolutely not.
No.
Don't forget to use the subject in the question as well. We need the modal and the verb, but we also need the subject.
May I?
May I? Yeah.
The number.
Then I talk. Yes, Vinasa is there. Vinasa, we don't have link.
I'm so sorry. Let me put that in the chat for you again.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Every time I we open the breakout rooms, it clears your chat, which I don't know why it does that.
Okay, it's okay. Thank you. Now I'm able to, I think.
Perfect.
Yes. Are you able to see? Is it okay?
Yeah, it looks good. Go on down to
Okay,
number
thank you.
7 and 8. Yep.
Okay, read one sentence each. Okay, let me know. Start, please.
Okay. Students, may I hand in my homework tomorrow, please? Teacher, no, you may not. Okay, number 2.
Yes, Sarah.
I have some more time to finish the essay. No, absolutely not.
And
yes, Sarah.
May I borrow your grammar book? Sure.
May I use your computer? No problem.
I think when you're talking to a classmate, it's okay to be a little bit less formal, especially to borrow a book or borrow a pencil. That's a pretty simple thing. You can say, can I?
Vanessa, if
That's
I'm
what I want
talking
to say. We all use
then
may.
shouldn't I talk? Can I use your computer if I'm talking with my classmate?
Yeah, so like something like using a computer, like that's a big thing, right? So you might want to be a little bit more polite, a little bit more formal when you have a big request of somebody. But something small like borrow a book, yeah. Can I use your computer? Could I? May I?
Can I have scholarship application? Sure.
So this one, it will be may, I think.
Yes, yes, I'm thinking may, because you are asking to someone that is senior to you.
It will be more formal.
Yeah. And next again, may I speak with Professor Jones?
She's not here right now.
Yes.
You may take. Can I take a message? Or...
Yes, can.
Can can.
Because senior is talking to junior. Can I take a message?
This kind of thing is always going to be dependent a little bit on the speaker and how comfortable they are with you. If the secretary talks to a lot of students, maybe you see her every day, you know her first name, you might be a little bit more informal with them, and they might be more informal with you. But if you're seeing someone for the first time, they're probably going to start more formal and then move a little bit less formal over time.
This not dependent on this, that one is a senior, one is junior, or age wise, whether designation wise, whether status wise?
It kind of is both. It's a little bit of the status between the two speakers, and also you know, how comfortable or how well you know them, because even like a parent and a child, right? If you are the child, you know your parent. In some kinds you want to be really polite, you really want them to say yes, or like not be mad about something, so you might be a little bit more formal, like, may I go on vacation with my friend? But sometimes you're going to be a little bit less formal, like, can I have a cookie? So it depends on the situation sometimes, as well as your relationship to that person.
And it depends to about the request, if it's big things or small things, like cookies or go in a trip, it's big things.
Yeah, that's something else that we think about, like with that example with the students, right? Talking to their classmate. A small request like borrow a pencil, and a big request like borrow a computer. We do sometimes are a little bit more formal with a big request compared to a little one.
Work with a partner, ask and answer questions with may I, can I, and could I. Example, you are at a friend's house, you want to use the phone. Can I use the phone? Your partner answer, yes, sure. So this is the first example.
Yes.
So the second one,
in the restaurant, if someone wants to in a fast food restaurant, and then may I sit with you? May I sit next to you?
okay, because maybe you don't know the person next to you.
Yeah, yes,
Mhm.
definitely. The other person, we don't have any connection with that person. So if there is only one seat, then I think I should prefer to ask, may I sit with you? May I sit next to you to have food?
You are in a restaurant, you ask for a check, for the check. Can I have a check?
Yes.
Or can you give me a check?
Yes.
Yes.
Is someone else with us? Lydia.
Yes.
Lilia might have her hands full with a new baby, so if she's listening, I think she's still here.
I sucker my baby, please.
Okay, no problem. Please take care of your child.
Thank
You are
you.
in a shoe store. You want to try on black shoes in the window. Can I try these shoes in the window?
Okay.
Is it okay?
You are talking to the teacher, your teacher. You want to come to class late tomorrow because you have a doctor's appointments. May I come late tomorrow, teacher, because I have an appointment with my doctor?
Yes. Lilia, what about you? Okay, Sarah.
You are at friend's house. You want a glass of water. Can you give me a glass of water, please?
Yeah. The teacher is carrying a lot of books. You want to help her carry the books. What should we use?
May, because it's your teacher, I think.
I think may is not suitable word because you are offering help.
Okay. It's not
Can
the
I
request.
carry your books?
Could
Can
I?
I help you? Like if I am asking, can I help you?
I think could it's more formal. It's in the middle, not informal and not formal. So
Could I help you?
use
Even
both.
could
You
I
can
help
use
you
can
also
and
word?
could, yes.
Yes, can or could is I think more suitable word.
Really good. In this example, the role is kind of reversed, right? Because now the teacher is like, her arms are full. She's in the lower position. You have more power because you can
Moreover, you
walk
are
faster.
offering
You are stronger. Yeah. So you are almost in that higher position. And so to offer the help, to offer the permission in this case, you would say, can I or could I would be okay.
We have number 8.
There's still one more left up there. Yeah.
Yeah, we can read these statements. Can you wait a minute? Of course.
If you go back up a little bit,
Okay.
example number 8, there was one in exercise 8.
Okay.
There's one more there you all didn't do.
You are on the phone with a friend, the doorbell rings.
Okay. Did I change the settings so that when the breakout room closes, you automatically come back in the room? You guys are just real quick to come back into our main room. All right, we'll give just a minute for the other groups to join, the other students to join.
We have only one that's a little bit confused. It's the number 4. They talk about the shop. Yes, number 4. We think use the may I, but we also heard in the shop many people say can I.
Yeah. I think in this situation, I think both would be correct, depending on, I don't know, depending on how you feel that day. There is a power dynamic between you and the shop person, because they have the power to go to the window and take something from the window display. As a customer, you could do that. Sometimes it could be a little bit rude to just take what you want in the store. But maybe the salesperson is really old, and so you want to be more polite to them. Maybe they are really young, so you want to be more informal with them. I think a lot of these, it really depends on the exact situation.
Okay, yeah, that means both correct.
I think both are okay. Yeah, some people, depending on their age, their generation, they may have a stronger opinion about which is the correct way. But remember that language is created by the people who use it, right? And it changes over time. In the past, many American English speakers used to be very formal. If you go back and watch a movie from the 1950s, 1960s, the way that they talk in the movie is very formal compared to TV shows and movies that we see now. And even everyday people that we talk to now, we tend to be a little bit less formal. So language changes as the people change. You could use can I and please, and now it's a little bit more polite and a little bit more formal. So totally depends on the speaker and what you want to communicate and how you want to communicate that idea. All right, I'm going to put another link in the chat to do a little more practice with asking for permission. Let's spend a few minutes on this in our breakout room. Let me put this in the chat to everyone. Okay. We'll do this last activity or this next activity, and then we'll go into, we'll take a break in a few minutes. But this one gives you a couple of examples of asking for permission, where we're going to decide, is it formal or informal? And then listen to the response. Do they agree or approve, or do they disagree or refuse the answer? So we can use, I'm going to use our stamping tool here. So the question is, can I have a piece of this pizza? Is it formal or informal?
No.
Informal.
More informal. Can I? Can I? The answer is, it's informal. Very good. The answer is, you don't have to ask. You don't have to ask. Does that mean yes, you can have the pizza, or no?
Yes.
Yes, you can pick yourself.
Yeah, you don't have to ask. You can take it. Have all the pizza you want. All right. There's a few more questions here. I put the link in the chat so you can talk together with your group about the sentence. Is it formal or informal? And the response. Is it agree or refuse the answer? We'll go back into our breakout rooms for a couple of minutes. Whoops. All right, have fun.
Okay, I can share.
Okay.
Just a second. Could you show it?
Yes.
All right. So number 2. Do you mind if I pet your dog?
I'm sorry, but he's do you mind? I think this is no informal.
Informal?
You think?
Mind if I pet your dog?
Yes, if a formal, they must ask, may I? May I pet?
Yeah, but I think it's formal because he didn't say, can I? If you, do you mind?
Do you mind? Normal, it's the do you mind? It's mostly it's polite. Polite. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. I agree now with you. Formal.
Formal?
Yes.
Okay.
And refusal.
I'm sorry, but if it
We usually use circle, but this country is Czech. Okay, so how about the response? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. That's the refusal.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Is it okay if I roam out for a second? No problem.
a formal question.
Informal?
I think informal.
You said formal?
No.
Formal.
Informal.
Okay.
May I have the Wi-Fi password?
Oh,
This
how about-
one formal. Yes.
How about number 3 response?
Oh, this not happening. Yeah, I think that okay, that means.
Okay. All right, number 4.
May I? This one is formal because may
Formal,
I?
definitely formal. And response is, I'm afraid that.
No, that's refuse. Yes.
Okay.
Could we
Number 5.
please use this chair? I'm sorry. This one, no informal.
Informal? I think it's formal.
No, formal. Good.
They say could
Yeah.
and can both informal.
No, I don't
Could-
think so.
Could is somewhere in the middle, but it is more informal.
Oh, more
Informal?
informal. Okay, that's
Yeah.
informal.
It's kind of in the middle, but it tends to be more informal.
Oh, I think
Informal
a can could are
situations.
the same word. That's why this is the same.
They're not exactly the same. It's like can and could are really close together, and then may is up here. Can and could and may.
Okay.
Okay, so answer.
Answer.
Sorry.
Refusal.
Okay.
Can I sleep at your house tonight? This one is informal.
Informal, yes.
And anytime, let's approve.
Approve. Okay, that's it.
Yes.
Yeah, the only correction I'll make is number 3. Is it okay if I run out for a sec? Is it okay if I run out for a sec?
Not happening. That means oh, that means no.
Not happening.
Yeah, no, you can't. Yeah.
No, you cannot run out for a sec. You might say this at work, you need to go take a quick phone call, or if you're in class and you need to go to the bathroom or something. Is it okay if I run out for a sec? Yeah,
Not
sure, no problem. Or not happening.
Not happening.
No way.
That's not happening. That means no way.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. Other than that, you all did a great job.
Thank you.
So I'll close the rooms. We'll go back and join the rest of the students, and we'll take our break for the morning. All right, let's wait just a second. I think most of us are here. We're gonna go ahead and take our break for the morning. We'll take about 5-ish minutes. Let's come back at 11 o'clock. Let's come back at 11. And we'll continue with our next group of modals for a different purpose. So I'll see you back here at 11 o'clock.
Vanessa, it was 1 pages only for the conversation?
Yes, just that one page.
Okay, thank you.
I think so. Yeah. All right. Kawant and Lamina, Lilia and Sarah, we're going to take our break now, and we'll come back at 11 o'clock.
Okay, thank you.
Minutes. All right. Good morning, Deba. How are you? We're just coming back from our break, so that's why everyone is so quiet right now. Take another couple of seconds and then we'll continue on. And Deba, we've already talked today about using the Juna app, but I'm going to send an email with some explanation. And if you want to continue using that app, you'll get a charge or a bill from your cell phone from Apple or Google. But I'm going to reimburse you for that money. So I'll send you a couple of dollars to pay for that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I love seeing your updates. Some of you send me messages with pictures from your practice and voice memos, and I love receiving those and seeing your participation and your progress through using the Juna app. So thank you for those of you who do that.
You're welcome, ma'am.
All right, so it is 11, so let's go ahead and come on back if you can see me or hear me.
Vanessa, can
Yes, go ahead.
Deepa share that how Juna app helps her?
Oh yeah, Deba is, I think, one of our star students for this morning class. Deba, would you like to share about your experience using Juna? How does it help you?
It's really helping for my pronunciation. I don't know how to pronounce some words, like some sounds. It's really useful for me.
What do you like about using the app?
Juna? Like right now I'm using only vowel sounds, focusing on vowels. Actually, I didn't know it has a lot of sounds inside the letters. Like I got a letter, I got 4 sounds. Like I really love it.
Yeah, that's something that is really tricky about English, is that it's not phonetic, right? And one letter has more than one sound, and Juna will show you that letter and all of the sounds that it makes, and or show you the sounds and the different letters that make that sound.
Yeah. Actually, my muscles are working inside it. Sometimes my daughter told me, "Mommy, you're not giving proper sounds like a ah." Right now, I'm using Juna. I'm properly correct that one. I'm really surprised that one.
Okay, yeah. It's so funny that it's really frustrating too. It's not just funny, but when your kids are correcting you and they're telling you it's like they know more than you know, right? But using this app can help give you that explanation about why does your kid know the right way and why don't you know the right way? And so much of pronunciation is the muscles in your face. And different languages that use different sounds use different muscles. And so you have to, just like you exercise, right, to get strong arms, you have to exercise your face to get those muscles working in the right way. And so Juna shows you exactly where to put the muscles in your mouth.
Also, where it comes sounds from also to exactly show us.
What is it again?
Actually, Juna app shows the sounds where it's come from on your mouth.
Yeah, and you said that you were.
I'm starting to try. Carry on.
You said you were practicing with the vowel sounds and where that air comes from through your mouth is really important. So Juna shows you the picture.
Yeah, it said some sounds are come from vibrations, some sounds are it comes from not vibrations. It's really useful. Whenever I'm starting, my husband is laughing. So, what are you doing, Deba? You're making some funny noise.
I know sometimes you do make weird noises when you're just practicing those sounds, and if you know what you're doing, it sounds good. But if someone doesn't know what you're doing, it does sound a little bit silly. So this is, again, just a picture of the app for some of you to check out. Here's the vowels at the top menu here. You can choose any of these long and short vowel sounds and the diphthongs as well. And when you watch the sound here, you probably won't be able to hear the audio, but we can watch the speaker make the sound with her mouth. There's the side view as well.
I especially like they have one quiz. The quiz, that's the you listen, you know. But the word is very similar and difficult for check which one. I like do that, but always half wrong. Yes, this one.
Okay, when you get to this page too, you get to listen for those like short vowel sounds. It'll tell you what sounds are you practicing. And when you, it's not sharing my screen anymore. But when you get to the end of the quiz, it'll show you which ones you have correct and incorrect.
Yes. I like this one. I always do this one.
And then you can listen to the two sounds together.
Yeah,
so you can kind of
how
figure
different.
out.
But it's for
what
us,
exactly
it's
is different.
really difficult.
Yes, I like this section too.
Yeah, good.
Listen.
It is really good for listening practice. And I mean, any listening practice that you do in English is going to be very helpful, but this is listening practice for those very specific sounds. And as you go through all of these different exercises, it kind of starts with more easy up to sentences using that sound. Then you can do the quizzes, and these minimal pairs down here are those two sounds together, listening to what exactly is different between those two sounds.
Vanessa, would you like to share the link so that I can download the app?
Yes, here's what I'll do for you. I'll include it in my email about getting the payment for Juna, but let me show you I'm going to show you my.
No, can I try it for 1 month?
Yes, if you just download it, 1 month free.
Yeah, the first month will be free for anybody at any place. The second month, I want to help you pay for that. On the class website, I think you can see the class website on your screen now.
Okay.
There's a page here about Juna, and I've tried to pick topics because Juna has so much stuff. It's kind of difficult to know where to start and where to practice. But this page here, there's one page for every day. I kind of changed how I laid it out, but here's the specific vowel sounds and then some specific consonants to practice with. These are all sounds from English, obviously, but these are connected to the topics from our sounds and syllables class. If you remember back from session 1, some of those specific things we focused on. And another activity sometimes that can help as well. So if you're not really sure where to start, Deba said she's just going through all of the vowel sounds. That's fantastic. But if you want somebody to tell you what to practice, then you can check the class website. And Kulwant, your question was
yes.
where to download it, right? The link to download it. And that is going to be here on the class website for this class. If you click here, it'll take you to the link to download.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And this is the name of the app is Juna Accent Coach. Juna Accent Coach. Oh no, this says you couldn't find. Okay, I have to fix the link. I don't know why that didn't work. Oh, here it is. You can click here, get the app. I'll include that in my email. I'll make it as easy as possible for you.
When you will put the last 3 handout?
Good question. Tomorrow.
Okay, that's very good. That's I can first prepare.
Yeah, it's on my calendar to do it tomorrow to get the rest
Okay,
of
thank you.
the links available for you.
Yeah,
the
because if we
handouts.
don't prepare as when the lesson is a little bit difficult, but if we prepare first, it will be easy.
You know, this class has so much involved. There's so much different content. It is, and I'm probably like you, I like to work ahead a little bit.
Yeah,
And I feel more prepared when I know what's coming. And
yes.
Some students, they don't want to know. They just want to focus on what's today, a little bit at a time.
I want everything that's before we start, everything ready.
I know, I'm the same way too, but you know, sometimes life gets in the way and you get really overwhelmed with different things happening. So my goal is tomorrow. What actually happens, I don't know, but I'll try for tomorrow.
Thank you.
And thank you for your patience. And sometimes my plans don't go the way I want them to. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and continue with our modals. Our next modal we're going to talk about is request. So permission, you're asking for yourself. Can I have that? Can I do that? May I have this? A request is asking someone else to do something. Someone else to do something for you, or someone else to do something for another purpose. The request is asking someone to do something. And we're going to talk about these 4 modals here, and we can see how they also move from polite to less polite, a little bit of formal. We want to be more polite in a more formal situation. But sometimes with your friends, you don't want to be rude to your friends. You might want to be really polite to your friends. So you could also use some of these modals that are not necessarily more or less formal. They are more or less polite. So there's a small difference in meaning there. These are our modals for requests, asking a request. We have would, could, will, and can. Oh, hi, Wala. What's your question?
Yes, I just have a question about what and because sometimes even when I speaking maybe to my friend and close friend, I know that when she maybe needs something or she's usually talking with what or could, and sometimes when I say well or can, I feel I'm sorrow to her or maybe to someone. So I don't know, even if we are just only friends, there is no any formal or informal. Yes.
Yeah, that's a great example. Some people maybe just are in the habit of using one way or the other. Maybe their default is to be as polite as possible. Sometimes if you are always that way, it seems a little bit like stiff, right? A little bit too formal. But even look with these less polite examples here, will and can. We can add the word please to help make it a little bit more polite. Will you get the door for me? Will you get the door for me, please? So we can add that even to will or can to make it a little more polite. I really believe that as far as asking for request, it's really up to you, the speaker, which one you would like to use, which modal you want to use to show that, to ask that request. There's a really small difference between them. I don't think the difference between polite and less polite is quite as strong as formal and informal. Hi, Kulwant, what's your question?
Vanessa, sorry for interruption. Would you
No.
like to clear the confusion in third example, which we were doing before the break?
Oh, yeah.
Because it was so confusing to us. Everyone, we had different opinion.
Okay, yeah, let's see. Let's go talk about that right now, and then we'll come back to request and read some of these examples together. All right, I'm sorry, I should have asked, don't apologize for interrupting with a good question. That's never a problem. I should have asked if there were any questions about that before we moved on. So let me go ahead and open that again. We'll talk about that together. So it was this page and you said number 3.
Yes.
Was it number 3? Okay. Yeah, this is not using the examples that we did. So this one might be a little bit trickier to see the meaning here. Is it okay if I run out for a sec? Is it okay? Is it okay? What do you think?
It's informal way. What answer is formal?
Informal.
This would be an informal question. Is it okay? Like, do you mind? Can I run out for a sec? Means,
Then
can I
what is
leave
answer?
and come back? The answer is not happening. Not happening.
Is refusing in formal way?
It's a refusal in an informal way.
Yes, correct.
A
I
formal.
think it's a little bit rude. Not
It is a
happening.
little bit rude, yeah.
Yeah,
A
that's why I say
formal,
it's informal.
a formal response of approve or disapprove or refuse is yes or no. Yes, you can. No, you can't. Yes, you may. No, you may not. The formal way to do it would be to say yes or no. A more informal way is to try to talk around the situation, like not happening, where you don't even have to ask. You don't have to ask. It's so okay to have a piece of pizza. And I agree that not happening is a little bit rude. But in an informal situation,
I was thinking that the refusal, if there is refusal not in direct way, then it may be formal.
if it's a refusal not in a direct way, it's
Direct
usually
way.
going to be informal. There are some situations where we have to refuse something, but we don't want to say no, because sometimes no seems like really hard to say no to something. So that refusal, like this one here, I'm sorry, we're waiting for someone else. So no, you can't use the chair, is a little bit too direct, but oh, I'm sorry, we're waiting for someone else to take that chair.
It's always lying.
It's not lying.
Yes, I mean that if they don't want someone sit on there, they always say same word. It's
Okay,
but most is lying, not true.
Sometimes, yeah, people might misdirect you because they don't want to.
Yeah, they always say like that.
Yeah, they want more space for themselves, even
Yes.
if they don't, even if no one else is coming. All right, Kawan, does that clear up number 3 for you?
Yes, Melissa, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for asking. Any other questions about this page before we go back?
Yeah, number 4.
Number 4, may I have the Wi-Fi password? May I is more formal. When the question is formal, usually the answer is meant to be more formal as well. If the question is informal, the answer should be informal too. Right. The answer is, I'm afraid that's only for guests. What do you think?
That means no.
It's
It
formal.
means no. It's also more formal. Yeah. And this is the way to say, no, you can't have it because it's only for the guests. In this sentence, we maybe need more information. Who is I? Maybe this is at a hotel or a coffee shop or something like that.
I have a question.
Is that Kazumi?
Yes.
Hi.
Is that I'm afraid that meaning is really talking like a softly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
It's similar to saying, I'm sorry. It's like, I have to say no. I'm afraid I have to say no. I'm sorry, it's only for guests. I'm afraid it's only for guests.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. It is a soft way of saying no. All right, any other questions about these? All right, then let's go back and continue with asking or making a request. The request is asking someone else to do something. Permission is usually asking for yourself to do something. So we use would and could in a more polite way sometimes. Will and can are a little bit less polite and a little bit maybe less formal. But when we ask a question, we are asking someone, we can always use the word please to make it a little bit kinder, a little bit more polite. All right, could I have a couple of volunteers to read these example sentences? Could I have a volunteer to read the 4 questions for would and could?
Yeah, I can.
Go ahead, Sarah.
Would you please turn on the light? Would you help me carry these bags? Could you please bring me more coffee? Could you lend me your car for the day?
Very good, thank you. And can we have another volunteer to read will and can?
Yes. Me. Will you get the door for me, please? Will you make a copy of this essay for me? Can you lend me your book? Can you give me a hand?
Very good, thank you. I think that was Walla. It's hard for me to see who is speaking sometimes. All right, let's go into our breakout rooms and we're gonna practice some sentences for making requests. And I believe this is the same link I shared as before. There's a lot of links today, isn't there? But I'll put the link in the chat again. Yep, it's the same page as before. We're going to come down here to do, sorry, let me clear all of this out of the way. Can, could, and would to make requests. There's the explanation if you need to review it, but we'll come down to practice number 9. And there are some sentences here to practice 5 little conversations with can you, could you, and would you. This paper here does not include will, but will is another option for making the request. All right, we'll go back to our breakout rooms. This is a pretty short one, so we won't need that much time. But if you have any questions, then please send me a message in the chat and I will come and help. All right, have fun.
Okay.
9. Yes. Stop. Yes, here. Okay. You are speaking to a bank teller. That must use would. Would you give me the balance of my checking account, please?
Yeah, would you or could you?
Would you? Would you, could you, same?
Yeah, both okay, I think.
Yes. You speak to your boss. That's the. Would you or could you? Only can use.
Yeah.
Number 3. Would you look over this report, please? Or could you look?
The same. Would you? Would you? You can't talk with the boss. You can't talk.
Boss.
Yeah. You are speaking to the flight attendants. They also would you or could you?
And 5.
You are speaking to a doctor. Would you? Could you?
Oh.
Yes. They are high people.
Just exercise 9.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe we can look at the 10. What's the work with the partner, make the request and answer them with can, could, and would. Model. That's the same work as we do, because we have time. Ask a stranger to tell what we do. Could you
tell me?
Go to the elevator? Ask your
Sure. Then can we use any other word for first option?
We do number 9 or 10.
It's a brother. I don't think that we need to use.
Yes, I'm talking about
formal with
first
the
one.
brother.
Yes, I think it can be. Can is more suitable here, I think, than other options. What do you think?
I agree. Does everyone else agree?
Yes, we agree.
Okay, let's go ahead and go back into the main room and we'll have another activity for making requests. Okay, we'll give another minute for the other groups to join. And we have a similar activity, asking permission. Let me put this link in the chat for you. Where did the chat go? All right, this one looks the same as the other one, but this one is for making requests. You'll look at the 6 questions and answers and decide if it's formal or informal. In this way, polite or impolite or less polite. And if the response is to approve or refuse. Generally, when the request is more formal, the response will be more formal as well. So I put this link in the chat and we'll go back into our breakout rooms and spend a few minutes to read these conversations together. And if you have any questions or problems, then you can send me a message and I'll come and help out. All right, have fun. All right, who's in this group?
We are not finding the link, teacher. Where is
Oh,
the link?
I'm sorry. Let me put it in the chat again for you.
Okay.
I didn't leave you very much time for someone to open it.
Okay.
All right, it looks like Lynn is probably not able to join at the moment, but I think the two of you can handle this on your own.
Okay. I share my screen.
I'm afraid Kylie already asked for the dog week. It's refusal.
Because of this, afraid. Yeah.
Right.
Yes, I think
All right, number
the
3.
same.
Can I have a friend over? It's informal. And I suppose approval.
Yeah. First time I heard it this way to be answer. Okay.
I suppose.
Okay, go ahead. Is that me? Okay, I will tell. Can you let that dog out? I think this is informal. Yup. Yup is it?
Yep.
Definitely.
Yes,
Very
so
informal.
easy.
Number 5, go ahead.
May we have a pause instead? May? It's formal.
I agree. Formal.
I'm sorry, we don't have any available at the moment. Refusal.
I agree. Okay, number 6.
Yeah, married. Hey, can you play the new Beyonce song? I think it's informal.
Okay.
And you wish is my command. I think it's approval.
Yeah. Command. Wow.
Did you all not get the link?
No.
Yes, we don't have the link.
I shared the link and I didn't give you enough time to open it before I opened the breakout room. So I'm sorry about that. I've not been doing a great job technologically today. I put the link in the chat, but we'll just take a couple of minutes, give you all some time to chat about this. I hope you had a good conversation until here.
Should I share or is it this?
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see the screen
Okay, yeah, you can use my screen.
now. Okay. The first one, could you turn the music down, please? Good, it's because you have please, we can say it's formal.
It's formal, yes.
Yes, I apologize for the noise.
Response is also formal.
And approve.
Approval, yes. May I take the first week of July off? It's formal. I am afraid Kylie already asked for that week. It's a refusal, but formal.
Yes, I agree.
This one uses may to ask the request. This is kind of a tie between permission and request, right? Because they're saying, may I take the week off? It's the permission to do so, but it's also the request against the other people in the company.
Okay, because you told us that we can't use may if it's a permission, right?
You can use may for permission. May to ask for permission. It's a more formal way to do that. Permission is like almost like, is it possible? Is it allowed according to the rule to take the week off? This may I as a request is very similar to, this is the request against the rule of what is allowed at the company to take time off. So it's a request, but it's also permission at the same time.
Is it formal or is it formal and response? What is about response?
May is always going to be formal.
Formal, yes.
I am afraid it's formal.
Yes,
I'm afraid is usually a more formal response. Again, it's
formal, but
you're
refusal.
trying not to say no.
Yes, Lilia, please go for the third question.
Or Sarah.
Can I have a friend over? Informal, I suppose, approval.
And informal too.
I say yes, informal.
Very good. This is another one that uses can I, and we know that can I is usually the permission to do something. And in some situations, a permission and request are just really, really similar situations. So that's why we're seeing I on this one of making a request.
Okay. Can you let the dog out? Yep. This is informal. And this is an approval too. Yep.
Maybe have a booth instead. I am sorry, we don't have any available at the moment. What is the meaning of Vinasa? May I have a booth instead?
This would be at a restaurant, to have a table with chairs, or the table with the bench that you sit on. The table with the bench is called a booth.
Then why it is instead means they are offering something else and they are okay.
Yeah, probably the host took them to a table with chairs, and they're like,
yes,
can we have a booth instead? Or may we?
Oh, okay, it's formal. I'm sorry, we don't have any available at the moment. It's also formal refusal.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, can you play the new piano song?
Beyonce. Beyonce.
Oh.
What is the meaning of Beyonce?
Beyonce is a singer.
Okay. I thought it's some type of
Well, you don't know
intonation.
Beyonce.
You don't know Beyonce.
It's a formal and
it's informal.
It's a formal.
Informal.
Hey, we use for friends or.
Yes.
Maybe I'm staying in restaurant. I say, can you play that new Beyonce? I think this is formal.
But when you say hey, it's no longer formal.
Maybe.
Because hey, you use it between friends, and I think
yeah, I agree. And number 6, we're not in the restaurant anymore. you're hanging out with your friend.
Yeah, Vanessa, what is about its response? Your
wish is my command.
It's friendly. We can use, I think, if I'm ready to oblige you. It's formal way to accept the thing.
It's very informal. It's a very friendly and friendly and casual. Yeah, your wish is my command. I'm happy you say it and I will make it happen. All right, great job. All right, let's go ahead and go back into our main room. We have one more modal situation to talk about today, and it's almost noon, almost lunchtime. Oh, my stomach just growled. So it's definitely almost time for lunch. All right, let's go back into our main room. All right, we'll give a sec for everyone else to join us again. I'm going to share this screen so we can talk about any questions you might have about these conversations as everyone else joins us. Any questions or problems with these different situations?
A group, no.
Malbec n'est pas dans Google.
No questions? Right. When we talked about asking for permission is usually for yourself to do something, where making a request is for someone else to do something. I noticed in this page for number, hold on a second, number 2 and number 3, they've used may I and can I. May I and can I. Sometimes the difference between making a request and asking for permission is a very small difference, because sometimes asking for permission requires someone else to do something. And so there's some request there. Can I have a friend over? If your kid says, can I have a friend over? They're asking for permission, but they're also requesting, will you make us a snack? Will you take us to the mall? Will you do these things for us, right? There's still some request there as well. So sometimes the question, may I or can I, there can be a very close relationship between making a request and asking for permission. So I just wanted to point that out, since we have our previous worksheet talks about may I and can I for permission, but here we see may I and can I with request. Any questions about that?
Number 3 is a request or permission?
It's like almost both. It's a little bit of both.
Permission.
Yeah. It's here on this page where we're talking about making a request, but it's also asking for permission at the same time. Hi, Lynn, do you have a question too?
Can I leave right now? Because I have.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
no
you.
problem. Thank you for being here today. All right. Okay, Widad.
Hi, teacher. If I ask you, can I have a copy of your book, please? Will be a request.
Yes. It would be a request, yes. Because you want me to do something for you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's another good example. To request is to ask someone to do something. And sometimes you want someone to do something for you, right? So can I have a copy of your book means I have to give it to you. Like, it's not just to borrow, but to actually give to you. That would be a request.
Okay. I request you to send me a copy of your book. I find that you are author of the book that you are put it in the websites.
Yeah. I did publish a book earlier this year, actually two books, and I do have some copies. If you are able to come to Americana or Aaron's, I'd be happy to sell you a copy of my book. I think I put it here.
Yes, in the website.
On the website. Yeah, you can order it from Amazon, but then you have to wait for shipping and all of that and pay for shipping. But if you want me to give one to you, to sell one to you, here it is right here.
Yes.
Let me know if you are able to come to Americana. I can get you one there.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
Yeah, you're welcome.
How much for one?
Congratulations, Vanessa. You did a great job.
On what?
That you have published a book.
Well, thank you. It was actually very easy to publish a book on Amazon. So this one is $4. So I'll sell it to you for the Amazon price, but typically it's $7. I don't have one with me, but I'll show you next week. I'll bring one to show you. It's a journal where you can practice writing, and there's different questions, just like we do in our class almost every day. And then it opens up to just lined pages where you can answer different questions. And there's the blue one. And somehow, oh, see, there's my picture. You all know that picture. And somewhere on here, there should be a link to the second one, but there's a green book as well. I don't know why it's not on here. I don't know, but yes, I did publish a book earlier this year. Thank you. All right. Vidad, your hand is still up. Do you still have a question, or is it an old question?
I asked, you have only this book published, or you have another book in the Amazon or another website you are publishing for English?
So I published these books through Amazon earlier this year in April and over the summer. It's just these two journals. Every page has a different question, and the rest of the page is lines so you can write down your answer. As an English teacher, I think that writing is just a really great way of practicing the language. And that's why we do it almost every day in class, because I think it's so important to practice writing. So
yes.
if you need something to write about, then this journal can help you do that. There's lots of like journal questions on the internet you can find and use your own notebook. But I am more motivated when I have a special book just for writing and that kind of thing.
Okay, you can help us to put another websites for help for writing and for training in your web.
Absolutely. Yeah. I saw your hand up also. No, okay. All right. Yeah. I'll bring the book with me on Tuesday to show you in our class. And if you are interested in purchasing one of those books, I think they make a good Christmas present. If you are Christmas shopping for anyone, then I will help get a copy to you through Americana. All right, we have one more quick topic I would like to cover for today. One more situation where we use modals, and that is with making deductions. Making deductions. Does anybody know what deduction means?
Deduction, that means less. Cut.
Reduce something.
Making
So
deduction, making shorter.
Reduce means to bring it down, to make it shorter. Deduce is a little bit different than reduce, but to deduce means to come down to the main idea, to come down to the main reason. So making a deduction is looking at all of the information and making an idea about all of the information. That is a deduction. So let me go ahead and share this link with you here. I'm going to just pull it up on my screen. And this is being really slow today. One moment. All right. Using must to make a reduction. Oh, let me share the right screen. Hold on. There we go. All right. A deduction is using the information that we see around us, but sometimes a deduction can be a guess. We don't know exactly for sure, but we look at the available information and we make an idea about that. And for this situation, we will use must, the modal must. We use must for deductions or guesses from facts that we know. Must expresses what is logical in this situation. We have some facts. Tony has 3 houses and 4 cars. Okay, he must be rich. To have 4 houses, 3 houses and 4 cars, that's very expensive.
Rich people.
He must be rich. We can also make a negative deduction. We see some information, we can decide what is not, what we think is not true. Tony has 3 companies and he works very hard. So he must not have a lot of free time. 3 companies, he works very hard. He doesn't have time to relax. He must not have a lot of free time. We use must as a modal in other situations as well, and we're going to talk about that next week. We can use must to express necessity when something must happen, and must not when something is forbidden or not allowed. You must do your homework. You must not drive when the traffic light is red. So remember that we use modals for different reasons, the same modal for different reasons based on the situation. But we can use must to make a deduction. So let's look at some specific examples with making a deduction. All right, here's the table here. We have 3 people are having breakfast in a hotel. Some of their belongings are on the tables. What can you tell about the owner of these items? We'll complete the sentence using must. So we have here, looks like a chocolate bar.
This must be a young lady.
A big purse, a big bag, and a newspaper. So it must be, the owner must be a woman.
A young woman. Because
Why do you think a young woman? Okay.
The chocolate.
The chocolate owner must be a kid.
Oh,
no, this is a woman.
A kid wouldn't have a purse. Kids don't read the newspaper.
The owner must like read.
The owner must like to read. Okay, she's got a newspaper.
The owner must be an employee or
Why do you think she's an employee?
Yes, because reading newspaper, having proper parts.
Okay, maybe she's taking a break from her job to read the newspaper.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe the owner, a businesswoman. She's got a fancy bag and reading the newspaper. She's very important.
She must love sweets.
She must love sweets.
She must not dare be the sugar patient.
She must not what?
Sugar patient.
Sugar patient.
She must not be diabetes.
Yes,
diabetic.
Okay, she must not be diabetic.
She can't eat chocolate.
Here's a good one with our negative deduction with not.
She must speak Spanish.
Ooh, she must speak Spanish. This is El Mundo newspaper. Very good. Good observation. All right, let's look at the next table and see who's here. We have passport. This says, I don't think you can see, but it says Canada.
The owner must be a Canadian.
A watch and a tennis racket. So if there's a Canada
Canadian
passport.
sportsman.
The owner must be a tennis woman.
Sporty.
tennisman.
How about it?
It must
tennis
men because of the
player?
watch. This is a men watch, not the lady watch.
Yeah, it does look like a man's watch.
Must
Sporty.
like to travel.
Ooh, must like to travel.
It's
Manner must be sporty,
Passenger.
right? Or
Yes.
athletic. What else?
Must be a passenger.
Must be a-
Visitor, I think. Must be a visitor.
Okay, a passenger like on an airplane must be a visitor. We
Yeah,
are in the United States and this is a Canadian passport.
Yeah, visitor.
so-
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's agree.
The owner must be in the competition. World competition.
Yeah.
He must
very-
be participating in some competition.
Oh, okay. Yeah, why else would you travel to another country to play tennis?
Must be a professional in tennis.
Okay, great job. So making a deduction is looking at the available information and coming to an idea. That idea is usually a guess. We say must because we have some evidence, some information to support our idea, but we don't know these people. We have to talk to them to confirm if our ideas are correct or not correct. So that is why it's a deduction, using our available information to decide what is true. All right. So I believe there's one more story here you can do for homework to practice with making deductions. Any of the activities that we didn't do in class today will be homework for you this week.